It's because we were muted.
Maybe the whole show would be better that way. Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Captain Jason, also known as the Bottle Cap Kid. I'm sitting across from Captain Philip Rest Assured. Philip, how are you?
Welcome. Hi, I'm doing great. I've got my drink. It's past 6 o'clock, so I'm not allowed to have Mountain Dew.
It's hot cocoa only.
Hot cocoa only on this flight. I'm not going to lie to you, Jason.
Thank you.
Because I care about you.
I care about you. I would lie to you, though, but I still care about you.
Would you lie to me? Tell me everything was okay?
Yes.
All right. That shows you care. But my pilot suit, because we wear the
standard issue
from the Air Force. We don't wear like the.
Oh, no, yeah. What you would see like at an American Airlines or something?
We don't wear
get that
those.
out of your head. We don't wear that.
Blazers and,
no.
We wear full-fledged United States Air Force issued.
Yeah.
And mine is really, it's been tight for a while. Mm-hmm. But it's.
Yeah, you look tight, man. It's nice. You look tight, dude.
Well, it looks tight in the belly. And
oh, I see.
as you know, I'm in the relationship with the stewardess.
You're in the quintessential relationship. The one we all aspire to,
right? Well, you're here a lot, you know. We spent.
I know the general tone of this household. If that's what you mean.
We spent a lot of time in the captain's lounge.
She just sits on the captain's log.
Stargate. But it's a little tight, and so I'm trying to lose some weight.
So you get a couple Mountain Dews, a couple hot chocolates, and
I decided I'm going to stop drinking Mountain Dew after 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
and then no sweets after 8 o'clock.
You know, that's
because I listened to a podcast today, and a guy said that he used to drink Mountain Dew all the time. He stopped drinking Mountain Dew, and within 2 months lost 25 pounds just from that.
That's absolutely right. I don't like Mountain Dew. I think it's gross. But
oh god, it's like the nectar of love.
Oh boy, I disagree. I'm a Coca-Cola guy. I love Coca. I probably have 2 Cokes a day in a can. If I stop drinking them cold turkey. Yeah, I would say between 10 and 25 pounds is the amount of weight I would lose. Yeah. It is absolutely cola that is making us horrible, disgusting fat guys.
Well, I don't really feel very good about myself right now.
Well, me neither. I'm just trying to bring you down to my level. I think it's called Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude.
Well, it's just, and Molly is a very, she's having us go to the gym when we're not, doing flights and stuff.
Right.
And let's say I'm half-assing it. Really, to be honest with you, I should be going every day. I'm going.
Well, what's your regimen? When you're there, you go 2-3 days a week.
2 at the most.
I'm going 3 because I've joined a gym as well, and I will stick to it. But I have a regimen when I go there. What do you do when you go to the gym?
Right now, I haven't found my niche, and so that's the difficult part. So I'm thinking the best thing for me to do, the quickest way to make some noise in this situation, and get this. United States Air Force issued
body back
is to at least that's the quickest way is to stop this. But I also heard that if you quit Mountain Dew cold turkey, kicking Mountain Dew is like coming off of heroin, is what I've heard. Seriously,
cold sweats, a lot of tossing and turning, even more pillow tossing and turning and blanket toss and turning that currently exists.
Yes. So I'm having trouble sleeping. My suit doesn't fit. So yes, it's time to bear down.
So you're not drinking less; you're just regulating the times in which you do drink them.
Well, it will cause me to drink less.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'll keep bumping that up. You know what I mean? That time up. But if I stop drinking at 6 o'clock now, that's 4 more hours. That's 3 or 4 more Mountain Dews a day I won't drink.
Hold on. How many Mountain Dews a day do you usually drink right now?
6 or 7.
Oh boy. boy, that is a lot of cola. Oh, man. I guess my next question to you is, when can you start teaching me a lot of the board stuff that you do on the computer? Because you will be dead soon.
We have already established that without me, the show can't go on.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, like, you just teach it to me for no particular reason.
Just for knowledge?
Just drop that knowledge on me, bro.
Here's a quarter.
Here's a quarter. Why don't you go to college, buddy? Let's, boy, a lot to think on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
If you have not heard this show before, it's called Couch Pilots. We watch TV shows.
Right, and we use the theme of wings and
Yep.
the grading scale of wings, and we do a nautical kind of feel.
Aeronautical, that's right. They say, shut up, you guys. I watch TV shows. You don't see me doing a podcast about it. I was like, you know what? There's very specific shows that we watch. They're not just, we don't say, hey, you know what I'm going to watch? I'm going to watch Orange is the New Black. You know what I'm going to watch? I'm going to watch The Good Wife or Mike and Molly. We don't do that.
No.
Come on.
Why do you want to watch stuff that's happening right now?
No. We dig into the past. We say so many television shows have been made over the years, and most of them don't
See the light of day.
Right. A lot of them, they get ready for pilot season, and they say, hey, we're going to put all this hope and this money into this project, and hopefully it'll test well, and people will like it, and we'll put it on broadcast television, and maybe it'll live for 5 or 6 years, get into syndication. Everyone will get some green scratch. Doesn't happen a lot of the time.
Nope. The odds of it happening are slimmer and slimmer each season.
That's right. They're getting tougher and tougher because they're losing their grasp on what matters, how people are watching TV,
right.
All the different outlets. A lot of these shows are kind of a one and done. Either they air once, do terribly, they do it usually as like a filler, or they throw it in the middle of the summer when the ratings are notoriously low, or it never sees the light of day at all. And we dig these things up.
Oh, we take our hose and our pics.
I always say hose before bros, man.
I would say hose before pics because, well, the pic should be a pic before hose.
Pick your hoe well,
right?
And it'll last you the rest of your life,
right? And then the dirtier the hoe, the better.
Yeah, that's right. We dig with those hoes. Say, hey, look at this show I found. What do you think? We keep that? Or we throw it back? And as long as it's one,
it has to be a failed pilot that doesn't go to series.
I pull it out of the ground. I wipe it off a little bit. As long as it's also
available, we can find it. Obviously,
yeah. And then that last one, I pick it up and I just brush that dirt off. I hold it up to the sun and I say, what's the third thing?
It's free.
Boom! If it meets all those requirements, if it's glistening in the sun, then I put it into my pocket.
It's like you find like a dinosaur bone.
Right.
It's like you're out there in the Sahara Desert for hours and hours a day under the hot beating sun and the sand.
Yep.
And you brush that little stroke on with that little paintbrush, and something catches your eye. You know what that is? That's a pilot.
Yeah. You put that in your back pocket. You take it home. You show your mama. You show Captain Rest-Assure.
You're damn right I do. Captain Rest-Assure wants to see it all.
You say, let's watch this thing. People don't know about this. Let's make sure the masses know about this pilot.
And when archaeologists find like a little bone,
right.
They all of a sudden they make a huge grid.
That's right.
Just 8 yards and yards and yards, and they make a grid and they number everything out. And that's kind of what we do. We find one of these. We get out our pads of paper. We get out our pens that have been donated by fans.
That's right. Send us your old pens.
Right. And even if they don't work anymore, because we can recycle them.
Mm-hmm.
But, we write down the title of the show, what episode it's going to be, what date it's going to come out. And then we push play, and it's bam, 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 bam,
boom,
bam, bam,
boom,
bam, bam, bam.
boom. That's right.
Endless.
We really do a lot of work for you.
It really is. And to be honest with you, this really is a lot of work. For the 20 people that are listening.
Perhaps an unnecessary amount of work. So week after week, we watch different shows. The first 10 episodes we did were from the 1970s. The next 10, which we're in the middle of right now, from the 1980s. So today, we discussed the television adaptation of the feature film 1989's Adventures in Babysitting. How old were you when this came out? That's kind of the standing question, right?
Yeah, that's the first question we always... I was 14 years old.
14. And then I'm going to subtract 6 from that. And
go on, you can do it, dude. You can do it.
In 1989, I was 8.
Yes, you did it. You got it. Good
I was
job,
8.
man. Good job.
Thanks, brah.
There's a big difference between 14 and 8.
Massive difference. A chasm as wide as the Red Sea.
Right. Like right now, it's 35 and 41.
We're practically the same age.
Yeah. But back then, man.
I'm 34. I'll take that extra year.
Well, it's because there's October. I'll be 30. I'm not even 41 yet.
The Ides of March, right?
It's coming up.
You're born the same day Caesar was
It's
killed.
next week. It's next week.
Oh, wow. Look how close we are to that. Wonderful.
Yep. Today's the 7th. My birthday's coming up. Next episode, my birthday.
It is important because, it was kind of a joke, and it still is, when we were born versus when this came out. But now that we're getting into the 80s, and maybe you had this a little bit before, Blake, but I am now starting to be like, I have memories associated with some of these projects.
Right, because we were watching like Baffled and like Mason, which we didn't remember. There's no way we would remember that.
Right.
They didn't touch us. They didn't affect our lives. But just like last week, we watched Action Family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, this is stuff these people were remembering, not as just, oh, these are people that were in black and white movies. Or, these are people that we, even as we got older, we interacted with via the television.
Sure. I didn't have... I never watched Star Trek, so again, with something like Baffled, I never had a real connection with Leonard Nimoy. I didn't have Cinemax in the 80s when this Chris Elliott show, Action Family, came out, which got a perfect rating for me. But I do have strong connections with like Letterman, and Chris Elliott was a part of that. So there are tethers that I am now developing and they're leaning on. Yeah. And to me... well, we'll get into that in a second, I guess. But you might be saying, hey, shut up and tell me where I can find this show. Well, first of all, go to the episode show notes from last week. It's right there on our blue links.
Right.
Or go to the links. Go to the blue links this week, and you can click on those. It'll take you right to the show. Go to YouTube, search Adventures in Babysitting Pilot.
Yep.
And again, put in the word pilot or TV show because Adventures in Babysitting was a feature film.
Yes.
And I don't know how it works. I did look a little bit into the movie. It was $7 million to make the movie Adventures in Babysitting, which seems very cheap, and it made like $35 million. So I would say that's a success, right?
Yeah, I wonder if that $7 million includes or doesn't include marketing, because that's the big thing nowadays.
Well, I think it's like $7 million, however much it costs to make. You double that,
right?
And then if you make more than that, it's considered a success.
Yep.
So, let's talk about it.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
All right, quick summary of the show. A half-hour pilot for a series not picked up by CBS, based on the feature film of the same title about a teenage babysitter. In the pilot, babysitter Chris Parker and her 3 charges find themselves captive in a store in the midst of a holdup. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. This is one of those episodes that's a bam, bam, bam. Here's the beginning. Here's the main problem. And here's the end.
Yeah, I agree. Those 2 sentences sum up pretty well what we saw in the show. Sure. We're going to break it down even further in a moment, but that's pretty much what happened. Here's a section we like to. You got something else?
I do want to alert everyone. Oh, are we just doing facts now?
We're venturing there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll wait.
This next little section is called Interesting Facts.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
An asshole.
No, not at all. I would never. Well, these are facts. We dig, like we said, we get those hoes out, we dig deep in, and not only do we find shows that meet our criteria, we dig a little deeper and say, hey, let's learn something about these shows.
Sure.
What else can we present to the people who are just chomping at the bit for information?
And as a disclaimer, we're only here to provide these facts to you.
Yes.
You're going to decide if they're interesting. We don't sift through the facts and decide which ones are appropriate, which ones are not.
We're narcissistic guys, but we wouldn't take it to the level where we're telling you what's interesting and what's not.
We don't judge facts on color, creed, sexual orientation, weight,
how many pets you own.
Right. Do you eat the cushions of your couch?
Right. Some people do that.
Yeah,
I don't care.
We're like, you know what? We're just here. We're journalists in a way.
We have to be unbiased. Just give you just the facts, ma'am, like they say. Just the facts.
Yep.
Right? Here's some facts. This cast largely unknowns, maybe character actors you would know from the time, but includes very young Joey Lawrence from Blossom. Quick story about him.
You met him.
Oh, God, I wish. I wish if they were doing some sort of mall tour for Blossom. No.
They opened for Tiffany.
Blossom had already ended when I was in high school, and Joey Lawrence was kind of a punchline, like because he was a legitimate teen heartthrob.
He was a child actor even. He was.
Oh yeah, he goes back further than that for sure. But he really hit his stride when he was on Blossom.
Right.
It's like, who is this long-haired hunky boy with Doc Martens, the baggy jeans, and the flannel around the waist?
Flannel around the waist.
That's right.
God, we're on the same page.
Absolutely,
about everything.
we are. And it's like, who is this handsome devil?
Right.
And he was a stupid guy.
Oh.
And he was the middle brother. I think there's two older brothers, and then Blossom, the namesake, was the youngest one. And the middle brother, Joey, he's just a hunk. And if something caught him off guard, it was, whoa! And by the time I was in high school, it was that show had come and gone, and he was kind of a punchline, like I said. And some girls started the Whoa Club at school. And during class or in the hallways, they would go, whoa! And I started my own club. These girls were friends of mine, but just to be an antagonist, to play devil's advocate, I started a club called the No Mo Whoa Club. And then I would not allow them to say whoa in the hallways of the high school because it was passé to me.
Sure.
It was ironic for the sake of being ironic, and I wasn't down with
My
that.
wife.
What? Yeah, I guess in the same vein as that for sure. The show also stars Brian Austin Green, or as I like to call him, Bag. Because of those are the initials, Brian Austin Green.
Oh.
So I'll refer to him as Bag going forward.
Right.
And you know him, of course, as being one of the young. I think he was in a grade below or two below the rest of the main cast of Beverly Hills 90210.
Right.
I do not remember his name on the show.
I don't remember it either. Wasn't he like the DJ or something?
He was the DJ of the high school. Maybe Buster was his name. But yeah, he was the high school. He would do the radio at the high school.
Yeah.
And one of the early, his friend early in the show, I watched the first season of 90210. I was young enough where I was like, wow, these kids are really cool. This is great.
Yeah, I want to be just like these guys.
I want to be just like him. I remember his friend, they were at a party or something, and they found a gun in the other room, and his friend shot himself by accident and killed himself while playing with a gun.
In the show?
In the show, yeah.
Wow.
He had this really blonde-haired kind of dopey dude, because there's those two kids kind of just orbiting around the main cast and wanting to be cool and stuff, and the way we can't
filler meat.
That's right. But they those two, Joey Lawrence and Bag, starred as young kids, prepubescent. How old do you think they were? Probably 14. I bet they're 14.
Yeah, 13, 14 years old. Bag, as you call him, had a dangling earring.
He did.
And out of the left ear.
His left ear. Yep. That's right. He also had a big blazer, a big loud blazer, and a big tie.
And he had a roll, the I think the sleeves of the blazer were rolled up.
How was he going to wear a blazer in 1989, my man?
Right.
How was he going to do it?
A little nugget for everybody. If you're going to watch this film, this is a fact.
Yeah, this is a fact.
If you're going to watch this film, you're going to hear words that may shake you up a little bit.
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe, just like the Japanese.
Oh, boy.
And in Pearl Harbor.
Okay. Hit me with one.
Bogus.
They, in unison, say bogus.
Goober is another one. So just, and stupid.
Now, hold on. What's that last one?
Stupid.
I know goober. I know bogus. Stop it?
Yes, stop it. It's what you call people that were dumb.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
But it just those are a couple words that I don't know if you want your kids to hear.
Yeah, because
we don't want to get bogus and goober to rekindle. This is about the time in my life where I was rolling up the bottom of my jeans.
Oh wow.
Okay, and I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, some things. A lot of things actually come back around.
Sure.
There's some things that we want to keep buried. And to me, that's one of them.
Sure.
The word goober, let's keep that dead and buried along with those dinosaur bones,
yep.
Okay? Just to wrap up the interesting facts section, this is based off, again, the 1987 feature film of the same name directed by Christopher Columbus, not the Portuguese gentleman or the Italian gentleman.
Who slain so many American Indians and raped women.
Yeah. I mean, well, you do what you got to do when you're going to a new world.
That's true. You got to. It's kind of like you go into the prison and you find the biggest, meanest bully. You punch him in the face. This one, you find the prettiest, most delicate flower and banger.
Yeah. It's like, what am I going to come? Am I not going to give the Indians blankets full of smallpox? Of course you are.
Of course
you are.
What's the quickest way to get rid of all these people?
Exactly.
Blankets.
Thank you very much. So let's get into the show. I will start off by saying it's terrible.
It's awful.
It is really bad.
And we, from time, for the really bad ones, we tell people up front, we're going to go through everything, and we're going to give our rating. And our rating is what we're basically using to keep people listening to the show because they want to hear the ratings. But sometimes we have to just, right off the bat, just tell you it's awful. Yeah,
shows like Clone Masters, that was not that bad. That was good. The World Beyond, I thought, was pretty good.
Yes.
And, again, you're right. It is reflected in our ratings, and it's a 1 to 7 scale, 1 being the worst, 7 being the best. And I think if I rate something 4 or above, I'd say, you know what? Spend the time.
Sure.
Anything below that, don't waste your time.
Right. We're helping you. Like some people go and volunteer at the soup kitchen, or
now you won't find me there.
Hell no, I'm not going there. I'm too busy watching these shows for people.
That's right. We're doing our charity work.
Sure. That's the way I look at it.
So you've never been to the soup kitchen?
No, but I know the song "Soup Kitchen." Soup kitchen, give me something to eat. Soup kitchen, give me something to eat.
I don't know that song. I like it though.
It's a good song.
Let's rate that song real quick. What would you give it? A 9. Wow, that's some character off Wings I've never even heard of. Based on, I would give it a 3.
That's the airplane.
Okay, so the show opens and it's a really crappy, like totally 80s song. Like I can't really remember how it goes. It was in the trailer though. If you heard the trailer to the show,
yeah, I don't.
Awful opening. It was kind of like that's you can't do that on television. Kind of just had all these drawings on there, kind of like Starstruck. It was like drawings, and then the people kind of like they moved through it as like photos almost.
Yeah, it was like a stop motion, but they just skipped 7 or 8 of them. Yeah,
it was
an inexpensive way to do it.
A very young and prepubescent Brian Austin Green or Bag. And Joey Lawrence, they're talking about girls.
Yep.
Come in, they start talking about girls, like going to the mall.
Yep. Bags is like, hey, I got this girl that I like. She's got a friend. Take one for me. Take one for the team.
Yeah.
And he's like, ooh, is it Jill or something? And he's like, no, it's Cynthia. That was last week. He's like, oh yeah. So call her up. See what time she's going to be at the mall.
Yep. And that's it. They're like, they're going to the mall. We're going to go to the mall.
There was a time in my life where that was a big deal. Going to the mall and meeting chicks was a big deal.
Absolutely.
Now, there's no way I would never drop my child off at the mall. Never.
Because of gang violence?
Gang violence, yes.
When's the last time you saw a gang?
Last time I saw a gang member or like a whole gang? Because I listened to Straight Outta Compton the other day at work.
That counts.
Yeah.
So just the other day. Mm-hmm. Did I ever tell you the story about when I went to a gang headquarters?
Yes, I remember that.
Was it on IBWIP? Did I tell that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly...
For a Christmas party or something?
Yep. Yes, I did. In my day-to-day, living in Central Illinois, I don't see a lot of gangs. I don't put myself in the atmosphere or associate with the people that would know people in gangs.
Just for your own safety.
But one year I did, and I won't go to the whole story, but I will say that, yes, I did spend a chilly December day at a gang headquarters in Peoria celebrating Christmas. So I guess, yes, they are out there.
Sure.
And for those reasons, yeah, my kid's not going to the mall.
Yep.
No way, Jose.
Well, I know the things that I did at the mall. I just walked around and held girls' hands.
Yeah.
You never worked up the nerve to kiss anybody. You never stuck your hand down there for the stinky pinky. You just walked around.
Did you go to Gumballs and pick up some candy?
Yeah. That was you buy her some candy, and occasionally you go to the arcade
Aladdin's Castle.
That's with
right.
a cage, which was really weird. You go in there, it had this big black, cast iron doors to get into it.
Oh, I don't know if I remember that.
Yeah, see, that probably took it down. Garcia's Pizza.
Oh, of course, you got to get that Gutbuster, man.
Yep.
Gutbuster Pizza. So many good memories at the Northwoods Mall. Thank you, Simon Malls, for shaping our childhoods. But those times are gone. A quick story about being at the mall and the security of such. And I'm sorry to derail again, but there's such a flood of memories this show's bringing. I was at the mall over Christmas with my daughter, and there he was, a security guard on the Segway, like Paul Blart Bloodfart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Helmet?
no, he wasn't wearing a helmet.
Ooh, rebel!
And my daughter points to him. I was like, "Look at that!" He said, "You should go talk to him." My daughter's like daring me. I was like, "Okay." So we went over there and talked to him for a minute. And he's like, "Oh yeah, people want pictures with me all the time." And I'm thinking, how the hell does he get up and down stairs? You know,
The escalator.
but you're gonna ride that on
You
that seems wildly dangerous.
I bet you they have one person on up and one person down.
Yeah, maybe so. Anyway, they're out there.
That's why that mall is failing.
And yeah, I don't feel
Wasting
secure.
money.
If someone's harassing me downstairs, you got a guy on the Segway upstairs. How's he going to get down there?
Right.
I don't feel secure there. I'm not sending my
Just
daughter.
look at the girls coming out of Victoria's Secrets.
I don't blame them.
They're going to the mall. They're going to see these chicks.
They're going, and then cut to a car scene with Chris Parker, and then again, all these people's names in the TV show are the names from the movie.
Sure.
And everyone's familiar with each other already, so I
Right.
feel like it's segueing from the movie. Like they had this adventure, is what I
Right.
feel like, and now
And
everyone's
somehow
familiar.
this girl's still their babysitter.
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
their
What-
parents still trust them.
Well, I think in the movie, because I did watch the movie when I was young, and I've seen it many times, because it was one of those movies when I saw it when I was young, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
If I watch it now, it'd probably be pretty shitty.
The girl's good looking.
That was Elizabeth Shue back then. Good-looking woman. I think it's one of those movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off where you get back home just in time, you fluff up the pillows, you close the drawers, you wipe down the sofa, and everything's fine. The parents never know about it.
Yep. Never know what hit them.
So Chris is babysitting. Chris Parker is her name. And it happens, and I don't think it was this way in the movie, but the guy who she's babysitting for, that's her principal. That's her school principal.
Yeah.
I feel like that's again, borderline kind of a sexual territory when you have a kid from your school babysitting.
Yeah, I don't think that should be allowed.
No.
No.
There's a weird line there that I don't agree with.
And another part of the beginning here is the young girl Sarah who loves Thor, and
that's just like in the movie.
just like in the movie, she dresses up. The outfit's the same. The little girl looks a lot like the girl that was in the movie.
The girl from the movie, she was also in Parker Lewis, Can't Lose, and so was Chris Parker, the girl who played in the TV show. So the little girl from the movie, and then the babysitter from the TV show, they were both in Parker Lewis, Can't Lose. And that's a fact.
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
So I'd say 6 degrees of Corin Nemec, Parker Lewis himself.
Parker Lewis can't lose.
He never, not once. My life is often, I feel like the reverse Parker Lewis. I almost always lose.
Bottle cap kid can't win.
That's right.
So the babysitter is on her way over.
There's a little scuffle with the youngest sister. She's taken the girl's phone number away, and so they said, we're going to get that phone number back. We're going to take your little Thor doll. We're going to put it in this garbage disposal, and we're going to press this button if we don't get that number back.
Right.
And they go over to taunt her, and who comes in but Dad? And he presses the button unknowingly.
Yeah, because his mom and dad come in. Dad just has some garbage from the car.
Yep.
Puts it in there.
Oh no. Oh man. Thor, Norse god, thoroughly flattened.
Oh, just as a pancake.
And they tell Chris, the babysitter, and like, you guys gotta fix this right quick if you're gonna go to the mall.
Right.
He's like, all right, well, let's go down. We'll go down to the convenience store, and down there is a grab machine, a little claw machine.
Sure.
And we'll win one real quick. We'll be right back. It's a baby's game. We'll take care of it, and then we'll go to the mall. And this happens to be the very same convenience store that Chris's friend works at. And what was her name? Brenda, I think? I think it was Brenda.
Yeah, I think so. I found her insignificant. One of the things I noticed when the parents were talking, to the baby, to Chris, is we're going to dinner at my sister's house. We'll be back. We'll be gone until midnight.
I paid that no mind. I didn't even notice that.
To me, if you're going to dinner at your sister's house, why would you stay gone till midnight? Does she live in a different state?
This is going to get into the turbulence section.
This is what this tells me. This is what this is code for.
I love this.
Me and your dad are going to a swingers party.
Yep.
Where we'll drop our keys in a fishbowl. We're going to have sex with strangers, and we'll make sure we're back by midnight.
And we'll have eaten by then too.
Oh, literally. Sausage and fish.
Boy. Why can't genitals be associated with vegetables? Like, what if someone just said carrot and eggplant?
Carrots are skinny.
Yeah, mine doesn't look like that.
Mine neither. I find you so fun.
Oh, thank you.
I find
Is this completely unrelated to what we're talking about?
Sure,
Right?
okay.
I just find you fun too.
I look forward to Monday nights.
They're pretty good usually. Pretty good Monday nights.
Usually.
Yeah. Sometimes I come in here and I really got to make a BM, and it's tough to get through one. Anyway, yeah, you found Brenda to be insignificant. Brenda was a problem in the movie too.
Yes, she's just that annoying, whiny, fat friend.
She was a chunky broad. I found myself
Chunky monkey.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I was oddly attracted to her.
Really?
Yes, more so than the babysitter, Chris Parker. Something about her hair and her something did not jive with me. Maybe it was her high-waisted like pink pants or whatever it was. I was not digging her. I had a little crush on Brenda. She was annoying as hell, but I was crushed on her.
You're crushing it.
Hey,
you would
call me crazy.
You would have crushed it.
Oh yeah,
You would have crushed the crush.
I would have.
How at that age? How would you try to get to a first base with a girl like Brenda? What would be?
What age are we talking about? Like 17 or something?
Oh no, yeah, 16, 17.
16 or 17. I have a long-standing history of not asking women out. Most of my relationships started because the woman has approached me.
Oh,
I think I have like faux game, just kind of a fake game that I can run on girls. It's a fake confidence that if a girl is dumb enough, she will fall for it.
sure.
Which doesn't happen a lot. So, if I wanted to get with Brenda, I would probably I'd probably come into the convenience store often.
Yep, just like once a day. But don't be creepy about it. But come in, just each time talk to her a little more and more. So this could take a month to develop.
And, and if there was a dude who rode his motorcycle up and has leather jacket on and his hair slicked back, that dude could get down to brass tacks with that broad quick. But a guy like me, yeah, I have to play the long game. I have to play the long
You think
con.
you could get all the way brass tacks in there?
I think he could. I think he could get his brass tacks.
I like how I had to I did a.
There's a visual.
A full visual, in case you didn't understand that.
No, I understand all of your sexual euphemisms, and I appreciate them too.
Okay.
But yeah, it would be a long game for me.
Sure.
That's what you would do too, though? You think I'd talk to her every day? You'd pull up on your motorcycle?
No, I wouldn't pull up on my motorcycle, but I like to get in there and really pound it out.
Like swimwear.
Yeah, exactly. I have always had a lack of patience in everything in my life.
So you just lay them all. So you see her and you like her. You lay all your cards on the table. You're very blunt and forward with her.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
it's a numbers game. Many guys say.
Sure. There was a show called Dance Party USA that used to be on television, and it was like American Bandstand for teenagers, but then it kind of was like Saved by the Bell. Like it was supposedly real life stuff going on.
Was it a drama too?
No, it was literally a dance party. Like they played music and they would talk to like the kids in between, and like relationships developed between these kids that were on the dance, and it was every day. And I remember I had a girlfriend, and we would both rush home from the bus to get home to call each other and watch Dance Party USA together
on the phone. You guys would be on the phone talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
it's crazy.
That's for kids dance. That seems like a lot of time. That kid maybe they shoot them all in one day or something. You know what I mean? Like that would take kids out of their schoolwork quite a bit if you're making like a daily show.
I remember, and there was one couple that was like the coolest boy and the coolest girl, and it could have been staged, but it just seems so real.
Now, is that something you would want to Google to find the truth out, or are you happy with it how it sits in?
No,
your memory?
I'm going to be Googling it. This show reminded me of that.
Sometimes not like looking into it, not digging deeper, and letting your memory, good or bad, sit is the best way to go about it. But you tell me what you find out.
The girl that I used to watch this with, right now, I on Instagram, not Instagram, but on Facebook.
Right.
I've recently become friends with her somehow. Again.
You guys going to rehash these memories too?
No. She's obviously had a nose job. Her breasts are larger, and she has a beautiful, amazing condo that she just moved into in downtown Chicago. Her whole living room is like just a big window. You just see the city. It's amazing. She just got back from Paris.
Wow.
Where did I go wrong?
You need to delete her as a friend. Those are the kind of Facebook friends that send you into a deep depression spiral.
I apologize for getting us off kilter here.
No, that's fine.
Let's get back
These are the kind of stories that people tune in for.
To Brad versus the crane machine.
Okay, so yeah. So they go over there. They try to win the Thor back. He's having a hell of a time. He can't do it. The Brenda's over there. She knows the kid. She's saying, hey, Joey Lawrence, you're a hunk from Blossom. You need to hurry up because Kris keeps calling, wants you back home. And then she busts through the door saying, where you been? We got to get back. Your parents are going to be home in a little bit.
Brenda's flipping out. It's her first day. And the boss man left to go on break.
Yep. He went to go eat his curry or whatever he's eating, and she left her by herself. And then right behind Kris comes some burglars.
Yes, the burglars, they hold up the shop and go.
That's right. And they're like, what's that noise? They look over the claw machine, and Bag is in there holding Thor.
Right, yeah. They're like, get out of there. And he just like...
He's out there instantly.
He just moves over to the side. Like, there's this big hole in this thing.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, folks, just to let you know right now, as we speak, thunderstorm watch. Take cover right now. There's a thunderstorm watch as we watch this.
In western Pennsylvania. Thankfully, only till 11 p.m. And it's just a watch. So it's saying that the conditions outside are ripe for a thunderstorm. Is there a thunderstorm? Has there been one spotted? No. But watch out because there might be.
So I thought that was neat.
That little scrolling at the bottom when someone...
it gives you the feel that you're back in the... back in the late 80s watching this.
Like, what was the one we watched recently?
They had the commercials.
It wasn't... maybe it was The World Beyond. Was it that one?
No, it was further back.
It wasn't Mason, the one with the washcloths?
Yeah.
Exo-Man? Or...
It might have been Exo-Man.
Okay, yeah. I kind of like that when they leave the commercials in or the little scrolls or the little station identification. Yep. It does take you back. So... The Bag gets out of the claw machine. They go over there and say, hey, you know what? We're going to stick you in the storeroom. And it's like, why? It's like, just take the money and get out of there. Why are you holding people hostage?
Right.
One dude's got the gun pointed at the crowd. The other one's grabbing the cash. You're in and out of there in 60 seconds. What are you waiting for?
You're gone you could be gone in 60 seconds.
You could be Nick Cage in that mother down the road. They throw him in the storeroom. And he kind of reveals to Joey Lawrence, or Joey Lawrence reveals to this little sister, like, hey, I accidentally ruined your thing. She's like, oh, I hope you die, and I hope the earth swallows you. And right then, the earth does swallow him.
Yeah. It's just amazing how it's just like, it was the exact second she said that, boom, boom, they fall under.
They go right into the ground, and then the rest of them fall down too, which is just, they never make sense of it. It's so stupid, but all of a sudden, they're in the sewers.
Yeah, the robbers have trapped the kids. They've fallen through the floor, and this is where the adventure begins.
Oh, God, the awful, horrible, surprisingly well-lit sewer adventure begins.
Yeah, and there's no water in the sewer either.
It's the driest, lightest sewer.
And the sewer tunnels just kind of reminded me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I think they referenced...
That they were so big, right?
Yeah, they were so big. Like, you didn't have to crawl or nothing. You could just walk. A normal adult person could just walk through them.
They do reference someone as a teenage mutant jerk or something like that.
It was a mutant alligator or something.
Okay, yeah. They do make that reference. But yeah, they're down there, and it's so well lit for being the deep, dark sewer, and it's not a drop of water anywhere. They're like, well, we got to get out of here. So they split up to look for a place to go, and while they do, Sarah and Kris have a nice little heart-to-heart about what family means.
What family means. You know those things that you said, you told your brother that you hated him? Yeah. When you get older, your mom and dad are going to be dead.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, that's what she said.
You'll have tons of boyfriends.
Yeah, your parents will be dead. You'll be a huge whore. But there's one person.
There's one person that'll always be there. You know who's always going to be there for you? Your brother. Your brother's going to.
And while this is happening, they're playing that like soft piano music, which in my mind, I know they're not the originators of it, but it's the one I always associate it with, and that's Full House. Anytime Danny Tanner sat down and talked to Stephanie or Michelle or DJ, they'd play that soft music. And when that music came on, you knew a life lesson was being dealt out.
It was hey, pay attention. Mm-hmm. I'm about to drop some knowledge on you.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's what Kris did.
Because they didn't have rap music back then to drop knowledge on them.
The rap music was invented, I think, in 2001. Was it?
Yeah.
It was. I think as the towers were coming down, rap music was going up.
Sure. I think that's what caused the towers to go down.
Yeah. if you go to the right church,
Jam comedy hour.
Yep, that's exactly right.
That was wrong. I meant to say, Yo MTV Raps.
For me, my money, the true Dr. Dre. Okay.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So they're down there in the sewer. Joey says, "Hey, I found a way out." I think his name was Brad in this. I'm going to call him Joey Lawrence. And so Joey's like, "Hey, I found a way out. It's a steep
slide.
It's like it really is just a slide.
Right. It was just a big, wide slide is all it was. There's no reason that would be in a sewer.
Not really. They try to go up the slide. And you know, if it was in the sewer, it'd be covered in like green, slimy moss and crap. But no,
nope.
It's just perfectly clean.
Squeaky clean.
That's right.
And I felt like they should go down. That's what they should have done for this. Because
what is that song called? I can never remember. It's the Benny Hill song.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Oh, man. Dustin.
Where's Dustin when you need him? But they all start taking turns trying to slide up, and then they get about halfway up and almost get there, and they slide down. This was like this went on for, it seemed like 5 minutes. It seemed like, God, right now with the script we're about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
we need to be 25 a hard 25. Hey, let's just have them all work on going up this slide for 5 minutes.
They do all get up there eventually. Chris Parker gets up there, and then they say, "Run up here, and I'll grab your hand." And they kind of use teamwork to get up there.
What's going to work?
Teamwork.
Yeah.
They get to the top, and this is something where it's like, I know the scene's not over because the camera is just hanging out. So everyone's gone. It looks like, oh, great, they made it. And then the camera's just kind of hanging out up there, and all of a sudden, whoa! The kids all come sliding back down. They jump up in one of the little tunnels, and then what comes next? Animal abuse. They throw an alligator down there. A real alligator.
It was like somebody was standing in the dark at the top of that and just kind of tossed this alligator. Yeah. He slid down. He walks around a little bit and then disappears.
There is no alligator would go down that slide under his own volition.
No.
That alligator was pushed.
Somebody flung him down. For sure.
And you're right. They don't really mention it again. The alligator just goes down.
He disappears.
That was like the big ha-ha moment of the show. I was like, hey, we got an alligator on the program.
Remember? Because Sarah said earlier when they were in there something about mutant alligators with big claws.
And there it was.
Bum.
Wildly dangerous. He slides down the slide. He wanders off. And that's it.
Well, then,
no one sees him again.
Yeah. And then everybody's like, where's Brad? Oh, my God, where's Brad? Did the alligator get Brad? No. Brad comes and tosses them big sack of money down the slide and comes down and says, look what I found.
Those burglars before had robbed a bank, and then they got split up, and they kind of met back up at this convenience store, I think by happenstance.
Right, because the guy forgot to
he flooded the car or something, and he was trying to escape. Mm-hmm. And so they're hanging out at the store, and then, they came across the money somehow. I don't know if they stashed it in the sewer real quick or what, but he came down with the money, and they're like, all right, now we got the money, let's get out of here. Boom, the burglars catch up with them. At this point, I was thinking before, I was like, this is a little bit like the Goonies. They're going underground.
Sure.
They're trying to get away from these bad guys. And now that the bad guys have caught up with us, and I was like, okay, this is the Goonies. We're watching garbage Goonies.
Right, garbage.
If the original Goonies wasn't bad enough, now we're watching garbage Goonies.
So the robbers, I'd say the brunt of the robber crew.
That guy was I would buy that guy as a legitimate badass.
Oh, yeah. I think he had a tattoo and hairy arms and hairy neck and stuff.
That's all it takes.
But the robbers come down, they find him, and they're like, you know what? I'm tired of this bull crap. I'm not messing around anymore.
You're a real problem. You know how I deal with problems?
Yep, and he pulls his gun out of the front of his pants.
Where would you keep a gun if you had to?
Not in the front of my pants.
There's so many goods down there to be damaged.
Gee,
I'd do like a cop or a detective. I'd have it in my side, under my coat.
Yep.
That's where I would have it.
Yep.
But when you're playing with fire,
because those strap things look cool when you take your jacket off.
Really cool.
Look really cool. But like if you just have it hanging out of your pants, it just looks like it makes you look like a 2-bit burglar.
Yeah, and these guys are seasoned professionals.
Right.
Act like it.
So the old guy, the heavyset guy or the mean guy is gonna shoot the kids. Just you know what? I'm done with this.
I'm gonna murder all these children.
Yeah, I just robbed a bank, robbed a convenience store. Not even a block away.
Right.
No sirens, no nothing. The owner of the Shop and Go hasn't come back yet.
Honestly, he probably did, and saw what was happening. It was like, I'm going to go home.
I'm out. But then the robber with the conscience says, I can't let this happen. And he punches the guy. One punch, guy's twice the size. One punch knocks him out.
Yeah, and that's it. And it barely even looked like a good punch. It was terrible. And he's like, I've done a lot of bad things, but I've never hurt nobody. Yeah. I'm not going to start hurting people's now.
Mostly some little kids.
And then I don't even think they really even addressed the money. Did he take the money, or did the kids keep the money?
I don't think so, because the next focus then... Oh, he took off.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he took off with the money or not.
Well, they dragged the guy over to like this ladder. They closed the ladder on him to kind of like trap him under there.
To make him stay there, yeah.
And then they're going to head up the ladder and like, we got to get you home before your parents come home. Roll credits.
It's almost 12 o'clock.
They're almost done with their sex party.
Their sex party will be over soon.
Everyone's Viagra's wearing off. It's time to get you home.
And that's it.
That's it. And it closes on them in the sewer.
Yeah. How'd they get out? How'd they get home? Where's Brenda?
Just awful.
It was hideous.
Yeah, what happened to Brenda? Well,
did she lose her job?
You know what? Those are all good questions, but
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Don't worry, because up next is Lady Hawk, starring Matthew Broderick. I don't know if you caught that.
Right. One of the greatest parts. Well, do you mean to wait for this part about Sarah, or?
You know what? Go ahead and hit me with that, and then we're going to listen to a promo.
Oh, let's listen to the promo, then we'll come.
Let's listen to a promo.
Anticipation.
Then. All right. Ever wonder what inspired a songwriter to pen your favorite song? How did they come up with that cool chord progression? Or even how they got into playing music in the first place? Join the podcasting god, Blake Clayton, as he talks to the prolific songwriters in roots music to talk about the song Inside and Out. Join us every other Tuesday at fcfnetwork.com for the song Inside and Out. Also available on iTunes.
We drank away the night.
Who's that?
Too dark to see. Drunken Cuddle.
Great name. Great name for a band.
Great name, great drummer, great guitarist, great harp player.
And, okay, just have nothing to do with anything else. Shoot from the hip here. If I wanted to learn more about Drunken Cuddle, how could I do that? Like if I say I want to talk to someone in the band.
Well, you could just go to the song Inside and Out, and there's an interview with Eric Avery.
Avery.
The lead singer.
Now, is he related to Stephen Avery from
So.
Manitowoc?
I don't think so.
Has he ever killed anyone?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
He used to be a hairstylist, so.
That's cool. The song Inside Out, though, you should check that out.
Yeah.
You've developed relationships over many years with a lot of great bands in the roots music scene, and if you want to learn more about individual artists or individual songs, check out that podcast. There's a lot of great episodes, a lot of cool interviews. You find out stuff that you would never find even in the liner notes of these albums.
Exactly.
So check them out on fcfnetwork.com. Subscribe to the show on iTunes. A lot of great stuff there.
Thank you. Because that's about me.
Yeah, that is you. You are the host of that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at your face. Oh, well.
And this is what I was giggling about. After we watched this, I always look for still images to use for some promotional artwork.
Sure.
And I had a difficulty finding still images or any kind of
I believe that.
promo for this one. I mean, it was really usually I got a swipe quite a far down the line. I couldn't find hardly anything.
To me, Adventures in Babysitting was a semi-popular movie for kids in the 80s. And if you put in Adventures in Babysitting and trying to find it, you're probably getting a lot of the stuff from the movie.
Right,
Just like when I was trying to find stuff for Evel Knievel,
Yeah.
I couldn't find a lot about the TV show because there's so much there are other TV movies about him. There's obviously his whole catalog of stunt work.
Right.
It's hard to find specific things sometimes.
So then I went to IMDb for the characters, for the real actors' names, thinking, oh, maybe I can find something that way. Sarah, who was the little Thor girl,
yeah.
She grew up to be Courtney Peldon.
You had sent me a text and before I had seen either of these, and you had said, "Hey, one of these girls will turn to be like an adult actress or something." And so I started clicking around, and I could not find it. Courtney Peldon. I see her now. I'm clicking on it.
She's hot. She turned out to be a smoking hot chick.
She is pretty attractive.
There's one picture where she's holding her breasts. She's coupling her breasts.
Is she was in adult films?
I don't know if she was in adult films. I don't.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
Oh
to me.
no, I didn't get that far. I just saw that she was hot and I had to stop.
She was in Frozen.
Did you want to build a snowman?
I never saw Frozen.
I didn't say. Well, I guess I didn't clarify either. I didn't say she was necessarily a whore, or did I?
I you know what? Maybe I read it wrong, or maybe I just wanted to read what I wanted to hear something specifically.
Yeah, she is. She's got very large breasts. Oh, here she. Oh. Here. This is a very, very. This is where I was getting my information from.
I will take that phone from you immediately.
She's wearing a.
What is this from?
I don't. It's Google Images. If you Google image Courtney Peldon, Peldon, you will find pictures. Go back. You'll see more pictures.
This is a blonde. She's my age. She's 35 or 34 rather, and she is in a leopard bikini with her legs spread. This may be the greatest photo I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and she has very large breasts. So let me just say that Courtney has helped out my rating.
Wow.
Indirectly.
But that's funny because at the time of the show,
she was
8 years old maybe?
She was 8.
Okay. Well. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to hand the phone back to you now.
All right. I'm going to email that to you.
I've seen my fill.
Okay. Spank bang. She's cute.
She right now, yeah, definitely attractive. Her character on the show, really annoying. Really, and I'm looking at her IMDb page too. And it looks like she was in Harry and the Hendersons, the TV show. Now that one, I think that lasted for a little bit. That'd be a great candidate for another episode.
There's a lot of bikini pictures of her on here. So many, and she had very large breasts, and I'm wondering if those are real or not.
We got to get off of that. Do you remember Harry? Do you remember the Harry and the Hendersons TV show?
I don't remember the TV show.
They made 72 episodes of that.
What?
Holy cow! Wow, okay, we got to get off.
Sorry. Yeah,
boy.
So let's move this flight along. I think our gas is running low here.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
I have a laundry list here, and it's not a metaphor for anything. I actually have a list about laundry of why this show didn't work.
Hit me.
It sucked. Just another one of those just crappy sitcoms from the 80s. It was not funny.
No.
It was just bad acting. The premise. You think if you think you hit hard that first episode, but there was nothing here.
No, it was dry. It was very dry. It was just nothing made me pay attention. To be honest with you, nothing made me pay attention.
No, it was terrible. So sometimes it is just the little stupid things that set up a great adventure.
It wasn't
It wasn't
even a good It wasn't even a bad teen bop kind of TV show where there would have been something going on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm saying this sucks not because I didn't like Thor or like the movie or like Joey Lawrence. The storyline was horrible, and they made a movie about it. Like, they made a movie. You should be able to find tons of stuff to go off of. If I'm not mistaken, Adventures in Babysitting had some comical moments.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time, but that is a movie that I really do remember enjoying as a kid. I probably saw it 10, 15 times as a child, and I really liked it. And I like the fact that this show had the same characters. It felt like it was the same universe.
Sure.
It was the same, like they were supposed to be the same people. They've already been through this big adventure, and I think they were in Chicago, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But there was just nothing here.
No substance. There was no meat on the. This was a cow who had been out to pasture for a long time, hadn't been getting properly fed.
That's right. Malnourished.
You could see its ribs.
You don't want it. That's terrible.
And you're going to slaughter it, and you're not going to get any kind of good meat out of it.
Everyone loses in this scenario, and I think you and I both lost a half hour when we sat down to watch this thing. A lot of shows on primetime, they don't necessarily center around the kids. This was a kid-centric show. This, while it was in '89, and I think Nickelodeon was in full swing, to me this is a Nickelodeon or Disney Channel show. In the early days of Disney Channel, I think it was a paid channel, first of all, and it was more real little kid stuff.
Yeah.
But modern day Disney Channel, modern day Nickelodeon, it's more tween centric. You're going to hit those kids between 8 and 13.
Sure.
And that's what I think this show could have done well there, but with better scenarios.
And to be honest with you, I've seen some of those Disney shows, and they are like this. They suck. They're just. Let's get some actors. Here's a couple sets. Here's just every day. Here's a lemonade stand. You're gonna have an issue with a lemonade stand today.
Yeah.
Oh, your Thor got smashed. Here's what here's some robbers.
Did you know that there's a show on the Disney Channel called Dog with a Blog? Did you know that?
Yeah, I've seen many episodes.
Oh,
of it.
No, you have not.
I've seen many episodes of it. That dog is funny.
Dog with a blog. I know you're predisposed to liking dogs, but what does a dog really have to say when it comes to blogging?
I'm about to tell you something about this, and I am a sucker for TV shows or movies where dogs talk.
We have got a good show coming up for you.
Because I love it.
I'm excited.
All the Air Bud movies are horrible. They're awful. But I will watch them because I just like watching the dog's mouth talk.
Now, the Air Bud movies, they didn't talk in the original ones. Or has he talked the entire time, Air Bud? I feel like... Okay. I thought in the original ones he didn't talk, but he did talk all the way through.
Yeah, I think so. And all the ones I guess I remember most are the Bud puppy ones.
Space Buddies.
Yeah, Space Buddies, Baseball Buddies. They went to Cowboy Buddies,
Snow Dogs,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Cuba Gooding Jr. To be an actor, to be able to work in that environment and to play off those dogs it's incredible.
Will someone show him the money, please? You know what? Show him the money. He worked with those dogs. He deserves it.
I think he's been shown enough money. Just turn on the radio and you'll hear about it. That was pretty good, right?
Is that the one? That was the football one.
Yeah, it's one where he was developmentally disabled.
Wasn't there one where he was like a diver too? Like was it like him and De Niro?
I don't know.
Either.
Divers do it deeper. That's what I heard. So
you gotta get some bumper stickers made up. Yeah, if I were to improve this show in any way, it would be, I guess, cheaper, crappier gags more often on Disney Channel. It could find a home there.
Yep.
But then you got to find someone like a Scott Baio, because like a lot of those shows have a recognizable face from the past as an adult lead.
Right, and we've talked about Charles in Charge. We talked about how he went and he's a Disney dad. A lot of actors they go, or like the guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the dad from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like that's the kind of guy who's going to go over and be a Disney dad.
Sure, he's dead now. James Avery, also another Avery. How many Averys do we got here? Drunk and Cuddle, the dad from Fresh Prince, Stephen Avery from Making a Murderer. There is a conspiracy. I think
Avery Johnson, the most annoying basketball player in the world.
Wow, too many Averys as far as I'm concerned. I've heard of too many cooks, but too many Averys? R.I.P. Stephen Avery, or James Avery. He was also the voice of Shredder.
Oh.
From the original TMNT. Anyway, there are definitely ways that can be improved. And there wasn't, like I said, but Nickelodeon was still finding its rhythm at that time, and it was not... It probably wouldn't work then, but it would work better now. Like I could see there being an Adventures in Babysitting TV show now.
Oh yeah, now yeah.
And I would watch that many times over than I would watch Dog with a Blog.
I don't know, man.
If
the stuff that little buddy gets into, I tell you what.
Let's land this mofo.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Now, you had mentioned having trouble finding some photos or some stills from this to create some artwork to kind of advertise this specific episode of Couch Pilots. I think I had similar trouble finding reviews and critics talking about this TV show.
It's almost as though it didn't happen.
Boy, in a better world, it wouldn't. Thanks a lot, Obama. IMDb, obviously, just about everything is on there. That's great. That's a great thing. But not always do people comment on there, and not always are there interesting facts available on IMDb. In this case, would you like to guess the score?
Sometimes there's not even a picture. It's just a little TV
That's
avatar.
Right. Yep, you're absolutely right. Would you like to guess the score for IMDb?
2.
6.4.
What? Are you kidding me? What are these people watching?
I don't know. Doing this podcast more than anything else I've ever done, I'm really saying there's no merit in these numbers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the other shows we've watched would be like, oh, The Tribe, 6.2, and then it'll be like Clone Master, 6.3. And it's like there is more than 1 point difference in the quality of these programs.
Exactly.
Anyway, some reviews on IMDb. One says pretty good. This is by Y2JS Walls. So that person's an idiot because they said it's pretty good. I watched this pilot for the Unmade series when it originally aired, and I liked it then. Luckily, I was smart enough to tape it. No, you're not. So I watched it recently, and I have to say I still think it's pretty good for being a spin-off of an unforgettable movie starring Elizabeth Shue. It would have been a good television series, in my opinion. Would have been better if Elizabeth Shue had reprised her role, but oh well. If you like the movie, then you should check the TV show pilot.
This is 13-year-old girls that are writing these out.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Here's one. Here's another one. Interesting. 7 out of 10. You got this. 7 out of 10 scars. Pilot pretty much goes like this. You know what? He wrote too much. I'm not going to read all that. But
It was a dude?
author Nick Van Owen from L.A.
We need to start trying to get a hold of some of these people and say, hey, we're about to do this. Why did you rate this?
What's wrong with you?
Can we call you and completely bash you?
Another one's Admirable Pilot, based on a movie. Replacing Elizabeth Shue would have been hard, but the actress they used was decent enough. I would like to have heard the network's reason for passing on this. It's 10 times better than the junk they have on today, like Big Bang Theory. Those are on all caps, too. Oh, no, so they wrote Big Bank Theory. Is there a reality show out right now called Big Bank Theory?
I don't know.
What do you think that show would be about? NBA bank shots?
No, I think it would be about bank presidents and laundering money.
I could see it as like a Martin Scorsese film starring Jonah Hill about a corrupt bank president or something.
Ironic, you said Jonah Hill. He was in the reboot of Adventures in Babysitting, and he was the babysitter.
I saw that. Because there's several different things out there as far as attempts to reboot the franchise or just kind of give it a fresh coat of paint. And that, it was kind of very loosely, but it was just called The Sitter, I believe. You're right. I did see that too. I did not think it was worth mentioning, but you're right. Since Jonah Hill came up, that's a very good segue. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm impressed that you know the Gary Shandling theme song. And I'm impressed you brought that segue up.
So I've impressed you on these two flights.
Thoroughly.
God. You know, that makes me proud. A lot of times I think that I'm just an old fuddy-duddy guy that just doesn't connect with his friends, is passed over that ridge, that you guys no longer see me. Everybody parties and has a good time and never invites me.
Never invites you. Well, you don't party.
But yet, when I can reach back and I can impress you twice, I feel as though we can still go like this.
I'm gonna touch you. We're gonna reach out and touch each other's hands. That seems to be what happened to that finger? There's what is that, a bruise?
No, that's is where the nail is not connected to the underlining tissue of the fingernail, and
oh boy,
with welding and using grease and stuff, it goes up there. Since there's a hole, there's nothing keeping that nail and the thing together. So dirt and stuff gets in there. So until it grows out to where all this is connected again, it's going to look like that.
Should I have asked?
I love that you did. It makes me feel like you're.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm what?
welcome to FCF Airport.
Makes me feel like I'm what?
It's 11:11, and the temperature is.
That you care about me.
Oh, is that you?
For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain's.
I love you, man.
You just go around. In this like pool of self-pity. What is wrong with you? Did you get over it? Everyone loves you.
I don't think anybody likes me.
No one invites me to parties. Thanks for asking about my finger.
Nobody ever asked me to get-togethers, and I wonder. I think it's because all the people that I'm friends with are younger than me, and so I find entertainment value, and I find how they keep me young. But then I think all my friends that I hang out with see me as this old guy.
I think that. I personally get together with you once a week.
No,
I see you more than any of my other friends.
I know you do. I know. And you're getting all irritated.
No, I mean, I just want to go home with a clear conscience, personally. But I have a nice nesting amount of friends, whatever that means. But I see you far more than I see any of my other friends.
Oh, now I feel bad. It wasn't directed at you per se.
All right. I'm not a party animal necessarily either. But we'll figure something out. Because now, what's that? What'd you say?
My body cramped up by my leg.
Oh, that's the worst.
My leg cramped up and my teeth are on the table.
One time, that is literally, your teeth literally are on the table. Some of them anyway. Was it 3 or 4?
4.
One time I had my calf muscle cramped up so bad that it flipped me out of the chair. And I was moaning in pain so bad that my brother, who was in a different part of the house, thought I was being stabbed to death.
It hurts. It happened one time and one time only, and for days afterwards, I was sore and bruised up. Like this one, like just now, like I had my leg bent back, you know, and it tightened up like that, and I couldn't get it back.
Yeah, that sucks. It's terrible. Those, you know what it is? It's probably because you're working out now. That's what happened. When I was working out really hard a few years back, that's what happened to me. That's when I got my calf muscle. So I'm not anticipating. I'm working out now fairly decently, and I'm not anticipating that. I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, the other day we took the kids to the gym so they could go swimming. You know, there's a water slide, a lazy river, and then there's a pool where they can play in. You know, and so me and Molly got in the hot tub because kids can't get in the hot tub.
Hell yeah!
Perfect way, and you can see the river. Like you can sit in there and just watch the river. We were watching the ferries go by. And I got in the pool with the boys for a little bit, you know. Didn't lift any weights, didn't do it. The next morning I got up and I had a pain in my back muscle. I pulled a muscle in the hot tub.
And now you complain about being old. This show sucks, and I'm going to prove it by giving it a...
Wait. Let's do it at the same time.
Okay, give me... I'm really...
No, let's not do it at the same time. I'm giving it a 2.
That is really what I'm looking at, too, I think. It really did suck.
It sucked because of the biggins. It was a biggins, believe me. But again, little co-star grows up to be slutty looking girl in Frozen, so why not? Let's give it a 2.
That is funny that you of that reason.
I take it and I bump it up 1. If you have a naked girl or a hot girl is somehow associated with it in some way, I'll bump it up 1. I give it a 2.
Not for those reasons at all, but I will give it a 2.
And that's Faye.
That's Faye Cochran. Yeah, that's generally sweet and motherly, though slightly batty. Character played by Rebecca Shaw, which I'm sure she's long dead. I will not base my 2 score. I'm not going to say it was a 1, but it got moved up because some little girl became hot. I'm not going to go that far, but it was terrible. And the audio and the visual quality which is no fault of the show itself, but it doesn't help me when it's already a bad show. It was terrible, the audio and visual quality.
It was somebody had recorded on a VCR and didn't fix the tracking before they started recording.
That's right.
And I always take that in consideration. I don't ever hold that against the actual film. It was very difficult to see things, but it just, there was no story. There was no entertainment value. That's what it was. There was no. I watched Vanilla Ice Cream sit in a bowl.
I don't know if that's is that a metaphor, or did you literally watch that because the show couldn't hold your attention?
Oh, that's a metaphor.
Okay. That's it for that one. Let's board it up.
Twos.
Mason it off.
That's what we should. We're gonna Mason this one.
But we're not done. Join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of The Nerd. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. You can find the entire episode of The Nerd by subscribing to our show, Couch Pilots, and clicking on the blue link in our show notes, or by going to YouTube and searching The Nerd TV Pilot. You put The Nerd in, you're going to have a million things pop up.
Right.
Put in The Nerd TV Pilot. It'll come up. You'll be able to check out this show. I haven't watched it personally yet. Here's hoping that it exists long enough on YouTube for me to watch it.
Right.
I don't have high hopes for it. Do you?
No, I don't.
You know, there's another one that we might watch too, but I think it's from the 90s it's based off of the movie. Again, another television adaptation, Revenge of the Nerds, which I'm sure will be equally terrible.
So like the game show that was a spawn of that.
What was that called? On Comedy Central?
No, it was on Fox.
It's called Revenge of the Nerds?
It was it had the two guys. It had Booger and the other guy, and
jeez.
they put nerds in a house and they competed for.
This is not that old. This is like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Here's what happens. We have to watch 9 shit shows to see one that's decent for the most part.
That's about right.
So we saw one, Action Family, last week. That was a good one. And you gave it a 7.
I gave it a perfect.
So I'm really concerned that you just screwed us for the next 10 episodes.
The truth is, I don't know the answer to that. I don't watch all these in advance to understand. I'm just looking for shows to meet the requirements because there's limited content out there for us to use for this show. All I'm doing is saying, are these things available? And if they are, then immediately we suck them in.
Right.
We can't be too discriminatory against
like a pilot
these
vacuum.
Just I'm a Dyson guy.
Are you?
Yeah, it's a ball technology.
It's not the inventor guy's voice, and
it is a little bit of that.
Do you think he's really the inventor? Or do you think that's just an actor?
I don't even think it's a person. I think he's a robot. I think he is a very advanced Dyson vacuum himself. That's what I think. Am I right? I don't know. Is it interesting? Yes, but it might not be a fact.
Exactly, and that's why you got away with that, because it wasn't necessarily a fact.
Thank you. If you have any information on whether or not the Dyson spokesperson is the actual inventor or vacuum himself, send us that to CouchPilotspodcast@gmail.com. Send us any information about jobs for people with Down syndrome, people who have...
John's on vacation this week.
John's on vacation, yeah.
He went to go see the Led Zeppelin tribute band in Vegas.
Well-deserved, too.
Oh, yeah. This guy works his ass off.
He's been talking about that for months now.
Yeah.
So have fun out there, John. We miss you. We barely land this thing without you.
We just guessed.
Yeah, you know what? We're pretty good.
There's 2 rows of lights. Let's just try to land this in between.
You're right. It could have been a bowling alley for all we knew. John, have a great week. If you want to send us pictures, John, if you're listening and you want to send us pictures of your vacation or you're going to the Led Zeppelin cover band, tribute band, send them to CouchPilotspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. We want to hear from you, folks. Tell us what you think of the show, if you like it or not, what you thought of the shows, if you watched them. Every interaction, whether it's sharing a link on Facebook or retweeting, you're earning. If you do those things, or if you email us, you earn frequent flyer points.
Those things add up. You can get special gifts and prizes, including the aviator glasses signed by both myself and Captain Rest Assured.
And also the surprise prizes.
And there's also surprise prizes that we have not unveiled yet. So save those points up. Send us the emails. Like us on Facebook. Tell a friend. Literally telling a friend is the most important thing you can do. That is literally the most important thing you can do. The retweeting, all that helps. The liking on the Facebook, the subscribing to the show, all of that helps. But the best thing you can do is tell someone about it.
Yep, subscribe.
We appreciate it.
We would greatly appreciate it. We do this to have a good time and to keep you informed. But it's good to know that it's getting to somebody.
That's right. We're not doing it for naught. Go to fcfnetwork.com. Check out all the shows there. Leave feedback for them. Leave a review for them. There's a lot of great shows. You got Sex with Heather. You got Drunken Lullabies. The Song Inside and Out. IBWIP. You've got S&M Radio. You've got the newest addition to the FCF family, Low Blow Podcast. A lot of great stuff out there. Check them all out. There's something out there for you, guaranteed. Anything else you want to add here, Blake?
Yes, I do. That Courtney girl was also on Home Improvement. She played one of the boys' girlfriends.
Yeah, forward me that too, please.
and I'm sorry, but she has a lot of not wearing clothes.
Yeah, just forward me all that stuff. I feel like I've really lost you here. I'm so glad that the plane has landed because your attention is clearly not on keeping this plane in the air, but rather on this young girl who turned out to be attractive.
Trashy.
Oh boy,
My favorite.
This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks everyone, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, everybody.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.